Hello, and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. Today's podcast number 2227. The topic is Q&A, and the title is Improving Aerobic Fitness Without Running. Ooh. So I talked with a new client this week, and they actually really love running. However, we were having to reduce their running because they were under eating for their goal of actually wanting to build muscles and have more of like aesthetic for aesthetic competitions, like bodybuilding type shows. So that was one aspect of somebody who loves running. But the more common condition I run into is that people hate running. So there was a client that recently asked about wanting to improve aerobic fitness but trying to decrease running. And I thought that would make a good podcast topic, so that's what we're going to get into today. So this client is getting ready for military. They're going into a special division of the military. They were formerly in the Army. They're now going into this special, I don't know if it's called special forces. I don't know all the terminology, but they're going into something that's military related. And they're going to be tested based on their running abilities. That is by far their weakness. They hate running. They're not that great at it, so therefore they never did it. So with us working together, when we first started working together, they didn't know they were going to get into this military component. So they were wanting to actually do a physique competition. So we didn't do running. We did bodybuilding type stuff, and we wanted to get them leaner. So they started, I think, with me around in the two teens, like 212, 213, 214, got down to like 170 something. We built back up to like the 190s, and now we're leaning out again. So we've gone through a lot of the physique development, refinement, but then they decided, okay, well, change of career path and whatnot. They want to go into this military stuff. We have to let go of some of the bodybuilding components. We have to get back into running. So that's what we've been doing for the last couple programs. However, in their journal, so all of my one-on-one clients have a journal that's just for them. It's a private journal just between me and them. It's a Google Doc. They write in it 24/7. I write in it every week, answer questions. We do nutrition reviews, training reviews, video reviews, all the good stuff. So I asked this past week, how are the workouts going? We're getting to the end of this current program. Is there any adjustments you want to make? How's the body feeling? So they wrote back. Running can be unmotivating, LOL. Just being honest. I'm not the biggest fan of running after the Army. After going through academy, I know we need to really start getting a lot of miles in, but I find myself missing days at the gym lately, and that's never been a problem, especially this whole time, meaning the whole time we've been working together, which is well over a year. It's diet that had always been the problem, but now that we've addressed that and I've been so consistent, I'm frustrated with myself that something is becoming a problem again. Are there creative ways to get my cardio up by doing more stuff at the gym? Maybe some more functional bodybuilding or a little CrossFit, but keeping like one sprint day, one long distance day, and maybe the rucking days on Saturdays. So I wrote back to them and I said, hell yeah. So the big key for us to make improvements and progressions is that they actually do stuff. So if the workout calls for something they don't want to do and they skip the gym, that's not making us, any more forward. So we want to find how do we get a blend of what we need to do versus along with what we actually want to do, so we actually do it. So we actually do something. So in their current program, the new program I wrote, we blended in aerobic fitness into the workouts. Now, there is still like running technique and running specific pain tolerance that they're going to need to develop to be good at running. And what I mean by that is somebody can do weight training circuits and body weight circuits and improve their aerobic capacity, but they're not going to necessarily be able to go run a marathon. There is a component in which you have to do the thing to get good at the thing. So we can do other things that are related to get good at components that are related, but you do have to do the thing to get good at the thing. So if they wanted to run marathons, they do eventually have to just get on the road and run and deal with, foot pains and blisters and cramps and changing elevations and mindset when you're looking at the same damn road the whole damn time. So There is components to where somebody would need to do the thing to get good at the thing. So if you want to get better at running, and the more large the goal is, so rather than a 5K, you want to do a marathon, you're going to need to actually get into running more to do a marathon than you would a 5K. So the bigger the thing that you want to do specific to the activity, the more you do have to actually do that activity. Now for them, I believe their largest time is a 2-mile run. That's not bad. So they do have to do it in a decent amount of time, but it's a 2-mile run. In the world of running, that is not much. So that is something we can definitely do and become better at by simply doing body weight circuits and lightly weighted circuits in the gym. We can definitely improve our aerobic capacity. And then if we're also dieting and bringing the weight, their body weight down to what's a useful optimal weight, they're going to get a lot better at running, even if they don't run very often. So I want to take you through our workouts to give you an idea of what the structure would look like if we want to get better at aerobic fitness without running. The first workout, we have workout 1, which is going to be a full body, high intensity interval training. So it's like HIIT style training. Then we have workout 2, which is more of a strength based workout. So more just old school kind of strength based stuff. And that's going to make sure that we maintain our baseline strength, maintain muscle tissue mass, joint connective tissue integrity, all the good stuff. And then workout 3 is actually a long distance run. So bummer for them, but we want to still do some running. Workout 4 is going back to the full body HIIT. And workout 5 is that rucking on the weekends. So workout 1, full body high intensity interval training. The reason why we're doing that is this is going to push their aerobic tolerance, so their aerobic capacity, the aerobic skill set, to its limit. It's going to push it like we would train a muscle to fatigue, and then the muscle comes back stronger. We're going to train their aerobic capacity to fatigue so it comes back stronger. So we start with good normal movement prep kind of stuff. So they're doing some stuff to dynamic stretching to open up the adductors, the glutes, then also improve shoulder positioning, shoulder stability, and then core bracing. This is going to help them just be able to move correctly with the exercises that we're going to get into in the main part of the workout. So that in total is probably going to take less than 10 minutes. It's basically something for the lower body, something for the upper body, something for the core. Then we're going to use a concept from CrossFit. I do train CrossFit coaches and have helped people go to the CrossFit Games and all that stuff. So one of the components you'll hear in CrossFit workouts is Metcons, metabolic conditioning, and that's essentially using body weight and weighted exercises to be better at aerobic capacity. So fancier terms and just different terms. We have it set up to where I'm going to give them 3 exercises. They're going to have to do 4 rounds of the movements, and they're going to try to do it as fast as they possibly can. So how we have it set up right now is the first day I have it without any equipment. So they can do this anywhere they want. They can do it at the gym, they can do it at home, they can do it at the high school track, they can do it at the community center, they can do it wherever they want. So this is going to allow it to, again, be easier for them to be consistent with. Since he was struggling with going to the gym, let's take the gym out of it a little bit. And especially since workout 2, we are going to go to the gym because I want to do some heavy stuff. It'd be nice for him to have the option on this day. So we're going to do body weight movements. We're doing a variation of a burpee, which is a lower body dominant burpee. Then we're doing like a split squat jump, which is really helpful to work on explosivity. It's going to work on ankle, knee, and hip shock tolerance, stability and balance, and then also connective tissue integrity, and then baseline muscle control, muscle mass to control positioning. So they're going to be like standing with one, like left foot forward, right foot back in a lunge. They have to jump, switch which knee is in the front. So bring the right knee forward, the left leg back, and then bring the left leg back and the right knee forward again to land in the same position. So they're going to jump in the air with their left foot forward. Then eventually they have their right foot forward, and then they land back again with their left foot forward. So it's a little bit of a weird movement, but it's fun. I don't know. I guess that's individual dependent whether they consider it fun, but it's useful. And then they have a plank variation where they rest on one arm and two legs, and then they have to reach back to try to touch their knee or their foot, and then extend their arm out in front of them, and then reach back to touch their knee or their foot. So they're going from like a pike position to a plank position to a pike position to a plank position. So if we rotate through those three things, like the burpee variation, the split squat jumps, and then the plank variation, every muscle's touched. I mean, you're talking about a ton of joint stability, a ton of muscle activation. Every single muscle in the body is involved. The balancing is involved. The bracing is involved. Connective tissue is involved. Even like to some degree bone density health, because I just made a podcast related to bone density health. That's going to be involved because of the jumping components. There's everything in there. And then if they're doing, say 10 burpees and 10 split squat jumps and 10 of those plank variations, immediately into 8, 8, 8, then 6, 6, 6, then 4, 4, 4, and they're trying to do that as fast as they can, that's definitely going to push their aerobic capacity. So once they get fit, can they do that in 20 minutes? Sure. But maybe the first time it takes them 30 minutes. Then it's 25, then it's 20, then maybe it's down to 15 or 16 minutes. So this is something where they can push themselves aerobically, but it doesn't feel like running. Then workout 2. We're going to do strength training. So again, we're doing movement preparation, which is going to open up the adductors, the glutes, work on core bracing and stability, and then shoulder posture. Then we're going to get into, they're going to do a squat variation to keep our lower body nice and strong. And then we're going to do some accessories. One of the accessories I have them doing is basically like a dumbbell cleans for hip extension, and then reverse lunge variations for unilateral work to make sure the unilateral hip versus hip side of the hip can be stabilized and braced, which is what they need for running. So that is going to be in workout number 2. Workout 3, we have long distance running. So again, we want them to get used to running 2 miles. Last program, I actually had them work up to 2.5 miles. We didn't really put any qualifications on how well they had to do it. They just had to make it through it. So then what we're doing this time is we're going from 2.5 miles down to 1 mile, but each week I want them to increase their intensity. So the first week is 2.5 miles. They're going to get their pacing. So half-mile pacing. Week 2 is 2 miles, and I want them to complete the 2 miles at better half-mile pacing than they did in week 1. Week 3 is 1.5 miles, and again, they have to compete that at a better half-mile pacing. And then week 4 is a 1 mile sprint, for whatever the sprint effort is. But again, a better half-mile pacing than they have the previous weeks. So the first program, we built the tolerance up. Now this program, we're building the intensity up. And then we can cycle through that as one element of running programming that you can kind of play with. Workout 4, we're going back to the full body stuff. So again, movement preparation and then body weight activities as a circuit. So for this one, we're doing single leg pike push-ups into an explosive push-up into pull-ups. So this is more upper body, since we did lower body already earlier in the week. Then they have heavy bent over rows just to work on core stability and upper back strength. Then workout 5 is the rucking. They're going to do rucking with 50 additional pounds than their body weight, and they're just going to go walk and hike and move around in the woods for 40 to 60 minutes. So this is an example of a program that I would write that includes aerobic fitness without running. And what's fun is workout 1 doesn't require the gym. They can do it anywhere they want. Workout 2 doesn't need the gym. Workout 3 doesn't need the gym. Workout 4 doesn't need the gym. And then workout 5, they're rucking. So if they were struggling with the gym, if they've been negatively associating the gym with, I don't want to be doing this right now, I'm just kind of like pushing this away, let's get out of the gym, So you can do bodyweight circuit stuff that does improve aerobic capacity. Now, again, the more advanced the aerobic goal you have, running a marathon versus a 5K, you do have to actually do the activity the more advanced your goal is. But you can still supplement what you have to do by using aerobic fitness components in your workouts. And you're still going to get other benefits like muscle development, strength development, connective tissue integrity development, stabilization, balance, mobility. You're going to get all these good stuff. But you don't have to run if you don't want to. So I thought that was fun to share. And it's kind of fun to see how you can personalize programs specific not only to the client's equipment, but also their state of mind and how they're feeling in that moment in life. So if you like this and you would like help with nutrition and training coaching, we do have our one-on-one service. You can learn more about that by emailing me at brutalirongym@gmail.com. You can go to our website, www.brutalirongym.com, and learn more about those details as well. If you like the podcast, please share the podcast. The more people we share it with, the more people can help. If you like the podcast, please consider donating to support to the podcast. You can do that on the website, or you can buy supplements from Nutricost.com, which is where I've been getting my supplements for over 10 years. You can use the code BrutalIron10 for a 10% discount, and 10% of whatever you spend gets kicked back to us as a commission. And then if you like the information we share in the podcast, you can find more from us on our social media channels. You can find us and follow us on Instagram and YouTube under the name Brutal Iron Gym. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.